Hey, Wanderers. Today's episode's full of travel news that's going to matter on your next trip. Faster security lanes, new cruise industry shifts, and even beach erosion hitting one of Disney's newest destinations. And this just in, TSA bans hairstyling tools.
Meet Steve and Laura, the wandering empty nesters. This is Bookpack Go, your inside look at real adventures, smart travel tips, and how to wander better. One trip at a time. Let's go.
Welcome back. If we've not met before, I'm Steve.
And I'm Laura.
And we're the wandering empty nesters. Let's jump right in. So, Frontier Airlines is offering a status match for just $69. And what's really cool about that, you get it through December of 2026, and you get all the same perks as their economy bundle plus some other things. Now, we found utilizing the Go Out Pass that we really liked the $39 upgrade of the economy bundle because that gave us a carry-on bag as well as the personal bag we had. Plus, we got to pick our seats.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought this was important. There were no change or cancellation fees, which if you found something better or you wanted to stay, you could do that. You could just readjust it. And instead of paying $30 to $39 for every trip, $69, and you are good to go. Now, this is good for any program if you're in some of the lower carrier, not Delta, not United, those aren't listed. Southwest Rewards, JetBlue, Spirit Airlines, and Alaskan Airlines mileage plans. And we just had the basic Southwest, and we were able to get that. So we can now, instead of doing the economy, we can pick our seats right away. It's one price. I think it's a great deal. If you're going to travel just twice, I do recommend the economy bundle. I think this is the way to go. So let's talk about Disney's private island. So their private island in one of the big cabana areas they have has got some beach erosion. Now, this is a natural thing. We see this in Myrtle Beach. We've got this happening now. And the Corps of Engineers is going to come down and take care of that for us in Myrtle Beach. They're going to.
How long will that take for Disney?
Well, that's a great question because the Corps of Engineers in 20, I don't know how much space we have here, how long of a beach they're talking about. So Myrtle Beach, we're talking 26 miles, and they're going to drop like 200 tons of sand.
Yeah.
That's over 1,000 tractor trailer loads.
But this is a private island.
Right. Who's going to pay for this?
How are they going to get there?
Well, I'm sure they're going to have to probably rent a dredging crew. They're going to dredge this up from the ocean and they're going to pour it onto the beach. But there's a huge expense there that the government's not going to take care of the way they are at our beach property in Myrtle Beach.
Technically, the island belongs to Disney.
It belongs to
correct?
Disney. So Disney is one of the more expensive cruise lines out there. Although I will admit, I think you get a great return for investment with them. You're getting a lot of quality on a Disney cruise line. But this is going to maybe raise already high prices. So it'd be interesting to see. Now, we know, having looked at cabanas, and we talked about cabanas on the last episode and how we found the beach day beds at Cancun so inexpensive. But when we looked at Disney's, they were
Very
like
expensive.
almost as much as the cost of the cruise. And you're talking about a single port stay, 8 hours, you're going to get to use this. Now, they're very elaborate. Some of them have their own pools. And, of course, they come with all the standard stuff. They come with service and whatnot. But right now, they've got stairs. And you look at the pictures, these stairs that are supposed to go to the beach, they just drop off because that beach is gone.
Are they still renting the cabanas?
It hasn't. I mean, I don't know how long this has been going on. You can obviously look at this damage and you can see this is not new, but only recently a picture started to come out. So it wasn't really listed what Disney's intentions are. I think we'll see that in the coming weeks and we'll report back what's going on with that. But right now, no news out of Disney, whether they're still renting them. No news about so far yet in the couple of days this has been out about what their plans are to take care of this. But my real concern is obviously the cost always get passed on to the consumer. So are you looking at even more cost when you're looking at Disney? So let's hope not, but I think you can expect it. So if you haven't booked your Disney yet, you might want to go ahead and book it and lock that pricing in.
But now this is just a small part of the island.
It is a small part of the island, but remember, beach erosion, that continues on. This is really evident here simply because this is where the cabanas are. And they're on a little bit of a berm because you've got usually. So that's the great thing about Myrtle Beach. Although we have a lot of it, it didn't reach up to the properties because we have those earthen berms there. You've got those breakers that are keeping that from happening. And I think that's something Disney's going to have to do. They're going to because this isn't going to go away. Yeah. It's just a natural.
Could you imagine the cabanas washing away?
I could. If they don't take care of it, that's absolutely what's going to happen here. We're going to
Crazy.
see those cabanas floating out to sea. I mean, you do see this during hurricanes and other things where you'll see beach property float out to sea. I mean, we've all seen this. We could see it here on Disney's Island.
Mm.
And I think it's something we don't see on a lot of islands because a lot of the cabanas are a little bit further inland, or they're on the opposite side. I'm not really sure. I don't know Disney's property wise as you compare it to Royal Caribbean's or NCL's or some of the others. How much they own. Some of these islands can be very narrow, and is it just on a side of the island where they're just getting the constant waves in and it's moving it out? Do they? I mean, obviously, you want beachfront property. You want to be able to look at the ocean while you're there, but that comes at a cost. So we'll see what they're going to do. One of the other things coming out right now is TSA is introducing touchless pre-check to 15 airports. Now, touchless is meaning that you no longer have to take out your passport, which is kind of cool for us because we bought
Yes.
those really, really nice Etsy covers that go over it.
They're-
And no one will allow you to use them because they won't fit in the scanners. When you go through customs like in Mexico and that, you're going to go through those unmanned ones. You got to slide it into the scanner.
Mhm.
Won't fit. Got to take it out. And we've had requests to take them out even at local airports when they go. If you just lay it flat, not a big deal. But if it has to go into a machine, they want them out. So touchless is exactly like our global entry, right?
Yeah.
You come back
Come through
in,
customs, looks at your face, says, welcome back.
right? The last time we came in, we were through customs in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Because we looked at the bang and you're walking through, and as you're walking up to the customs agent, he's going, Mr. Castor, Mrs. Castor, yep, see you, matches your face, have a good day, and
Yeah.
off you go. So and I've talked before about how I think the pre-check lines are getting longer. We've had several stories recently where more and more people are being allowed to get in, military families with children. There was a discount we reported on last time where if you both signed up, you got $15 off. And look, you should get it if you travel a lot, but it does make the lines longer. And so now we're looking at a way to reduce that and make it faster. I think it's great. Now, how long are they going to keep their image? I know this is what people wonder about. Like,
Yeah.
how long are they keeping my picture? Now, TSA claims
Compares.
24 hours. They claim 24 hours and it's out of the system.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I don't know that that matters. So we don't have to show passport, anything, just a picture?
yeah, if you're TSA pre,
Okay, so how does that apply? Like they say you need a real ID. If you're not showing that real ID, do you still need that?
great question. They don't really answer it here because I'm trying to
Something
think.
we'll find out for you.
Well, when you get your TSA pre, I'm trying to think back. It's been a long time since we've
Because
got
you
it.
have to show it then.
Yeah, I'm thinking you got to have your real ID because you do have to show documentation to get
Right.
it.
Okay. That makes
So
sense.
I feel like we may have shown our passport when we got it.
Yeah.
Which we do a lot because we don't own a real ID, at least a state issued one, because there's an additional cost involved that we don't want to pay. I don't know why there's two. Kentucky has two different IDs you can get. One is a real ID, which costs more money than a standard ID. Plus, you can't get the real ID by mail, even if you have a passport. You have to go to the DMV. We all know what joy that is. And you have to take like your life history, all these documents to prove who you are. And weirdly, your passport doesn't qualify, even though you've been cleared by the government. The state won't take it. So we didn't want the hassle. We don't have one. We usually use our passport or our global. So I think that's probably going to be covered when you apply.
Yeah.
So you're good to go. So yes, I think the answer then,
And this is only for pre-check.
only for pre-check, you're not going to get this through standard. You wonder if it might come to standard because now you have to get a real ID to even go through standard. Now you can get on a plane today domestically without a real ID, but they tell you up front, bring extra documentation and come early because
Right.
you're going to get secondary screening. So just expect it not to be quick. So you don't I think that'll go away. I think this is just something that we need to get used to. If you want to travel and you want to travel without a lot of hassle and you want to travel with a reasonable amount of safety, which we all do, I think we should just accept it. On the not so good side, and this doesn't affect me, but let's see how many people it does affect. TSA, they banned right before we started recording. It came out. TSA was banning hairstyling tools, specifically battery operated or butane. I didn't know that was still a thing. Powered curling irons or flat irons. And no, I do not know the difference.
Yes.
But
Well, they do just that. Curl, flat.
okay, well,
But only the ones that you charge that has a battery.
This goes to lithium batteries.
Yes. The same as charging your phone, curling your hair. You cannot put them in check anymore.
Right. You can
They
carry
they
them
want to
on.
be able to keep an eye on them.
Right. Because if something happens with that battery while you're in the air, you do not want that down in cargo where
Mm-mm.
no one can do anything about it. You want that, as much as it's going to be scary. We've seen multiple stories now around lithium batteries where smoke was in the cabin. We've wondered, do the flight crews have these emergency blankets you could wrap around fires?
I hope
They
so.
they have something. They have
Yeah.
something because they're taking care of these. 'Cause I want to tell you, you just can't put out a lithium battery by
Mm-mm.
pouring water over it. I
Mm-mm.
mean, there's some terms around this with energy running away where it just gets out of control. So they've got something that they're able to do this with. I would rather it be in checked baggage. Now they are stating that you have to have some sort of cover
Yeah.
over the heating
It's
element.
a heat protector.
Right. So I don't know, maybe I guess people might always carry those, but if you threw it away when you bought it, you're gonna have to go find one.
Yeah. I would say just leave the battery one at home and get you a cheap one with a cord to travel with, and don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, things get left on vacation, right? And I'm sure people
Yeah.
spend a decent amount of money for these things if you bought good ones. And I think
Mhm.
that's probably why we're seeing this, because people bought cheap ones off Temu and stuff like
Right.
that there aren't quality controls around these lithium batteries. And of course, we've seen the large lithium batteries already over, I think it was 100,000 milliamps have been banned. So it is a problem of quality control in the lithium batteries and them going bad and catching fire. But even if you spent good money on it, you wouldn't want to accidentally leave that somewhere. And people leave stuff on vacation all the time. So if you had a cheap one, corded, and you left it, or all of a sudden you overpacked and had to leave it, it wouldn't be a big thing, right?
Right.
Because this is going to take up extra room in your carry-on. I've been to a lot of different hotels, a lot of different resorts, a lot of different cruise lines. I won't say they have a lot of plugs, but there's always been one in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Even overseas.
You
I
can
mean,
always do the plug shuffle.
right, you might have to
Yeah.
get an adapter if you're going to Europe, you should have that with you anyway, and there might be typically only one in the bathroom, cruise lines, but yeah, you could just do the shuffle, and obviously that means more work for women than it does for the guys. For most guys, I'm not guys, there are some guys that style their hairs, so you're just gonna have to make accommodations, but again, it's kinda like the photo. Just going back to safety. I'm not comfortable with all have I bought cheap stuff off Temu? Yes, I have. I will tell you that I probably don't feel comfortable traveling with those things, and I don't.
No.
Um, I'm very selective on the battery that I carry with me because I do have multiple battery rechargers for my phone. I only take one with me, the cheap ones, I leave at home. And I think that's something we all need to think about. These things, if they go wrong at 30,000 feet, that's a problem. Even though all the planes that have had this happen have landed safely, thank God. But you're not getting to where you're going on time now.
No.
That plane is diverting to the closest airport when that smoke hits the cabin. Even if they put that fire out and everything's good, they're still landing that plane. And so you're going to be delayed by a couple hours. You're not going to, if you were, pressed for time, you are now going to be late. So I think we all need to think about getting there correctly and getting there safely and kind of being okay with some rules. Interesting thing on Margaritaville. So Margaritaville, when they first came out, for law enforcement, military had a all you could cruise pass the first year. They haven't had it in a couple of years. If you are in those categories, military or law enforcement, you go through GovX, you can get free cruisings through them. We've not done that yet, but they just released for everybody an all you can cruise pass. And there's some interesting things about this. While we haven't cruised Margaritaville, you mentioned earlier that you'd be open to it, which I kind of surprised me.
Yeah, I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to do the little short
2 or 3 night
weekend.
one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that might be more of the party atmosphere that I'm looking for, but a little bit longer cruise. I hear they have really good food.
I have heard things about their food being good, and I've watched multiple reviews from travel advisors who've taken them. And of course, in order to get you a watch, they all have a negative type of title.
Yeah, that little hook.
In the end, though, they all seem to like it. I really haven't heard a lot of bad things about them, and the food has constantly been mentioned as being pretty good.
Yeah, they have kind of got a party.
They've definitely taken
Yeah,
over for
but
Carnival. Don't get me wrong on that.
yeah, but doesn't mean that you have to participate. It doesn't mean it's going
There's still
to.
quiet spots on the
Yeah,
boat.
you're not going to mess up my vacation because you're partying.
Right.
So yeah, I think I'd like to give them a try.
On any cruise line, you know where the party atmosphere is. Like,
Right.
if you don't want to be in the party, then don't be on the
Full deck.
the pool deck for departure.
Yeah.
Don't be at midnight on a Royal Caribbean in the main hall when they're doing the tribute to,
Mamma Mia.
yeah.
That's on Celebrity.
Oh, well, Royal, I think, does it too.
Oh, okay.
So Royal and Celebrity do the Mamma Mia thing. It's a
Mhm.
lot, and it's midnight, so there's a lot of drunk people there anyway, but everybody gets into
Now,
that.
I do like standing above and watching.
Oh, yeah, watching everybody? Absolutely. So here's the thing on the passes. 2 people, ocean view cabin, $7.99 if you want 2 or 3 night trips. And you can cruise as much as you want so long as they're not back to back, and you cannot book your second cruise until you're off your first one. So as
Yeah,
soon as
if
you
I
hit
lived
shore,
within
oh my God.
driving of the port,
Well,
wow.
even if you didn't live, I mean, yeah, if you lived within a couple of states or in Florida, because they only really cruise out of the one out of, I think, Canaveral or Tampa. I'm not sure. You can use it all the time,
Mhm.
like twice a month. But even if you use it twice over the course of a year, $7.99 for an ocean view, you've probably got it. Now, even more so is the one that includes the ocean, the 2 to 3 or 7 night voyages. This is $14.99 for 2 people. It's going to get you the ocean view. You still get some other things. You're getting, both of them are giving you casino play, $25 on the lower one, $50 on the first one. You're getting a percentage off your onboard packages because every cruise line is going to sell you something extra as well. Third and fourth guest discounts if you want to, triple or quad occupancy that room. And now this is the interesting one. If you buy the ultimate pass, the $14.99 for 2 people for an extra $299, and you have to do it when you buy. You can't think, oh, I should have done that. For $299 extra, you get a balcony on every cruise.
It's crazy.
So for what? Now we're talking $1,800.
Yeah.
A balcony room,
Cruise all year
7 nights, cruising as much as you want. That's basically cruise once you're covered.
for the entire
The
year.
whole rest of the year you cruised, those can be free. Now there are blackout dates. I think I
course.
counted 29 departures. Now that's not 29 weeks because
Mhm.
cruises leave 2-3 times a week. And this is on, I think they have 4 ships now. This is on their 2 earliest boats, the Paradise and the Islander, which get good reviews.
Mhm.
They were just their first boats. So I think this is a great deal. Again, I would not probably make use of it. And we do get a free cruise, which we've not taken advantage of, but maybe after we try that, it might be
Yeah.
something to look at.
Yeah.
We didn't fly Frontier either before.
True.
But now we've gotten the Go Out Pass. I think we can fly Frontier now simply because no one else is different. We used to complain about all the extra things the smaller ships or the smaller airlines would charge you for. Now everyone's doing it. Southwest, of course, was the last domino to fall. So what's the difference? Now it's about getting to where you want to go at the cheapest prices. So
Mhm.
these kind of things, we used to kind of look down on them. And yes, we'll still call Margaritaville taking over the title Walmart of the Seas, but that doesn't make them bad.
No.
So I find that very interesting. If you've cruised Margarita before, let us know what your experience was. Did you enjoy it? How is the food? And, follow up with us. Tell us what you think. And would you have any thoughts about buying this package? Like if you cruise more than one time, do you think this would be a value? I'm in the camp of thinking it would.
I think so.
So let's talk about our last item, Royal Caribbean. So Royal Caribbean's Icon series ships, which is the Icon of the Seas and Star of the Seas. Star of the Seas is the largest ship in the world right now. Just came out. There's a section on there that they call, I think it's Swim and Tonic. So it's a swim up bar. It's an area. It's kind of elevated because you look at the back of their ships and they've got those elevated and those infinity pool looks. So this is an elevated position. They've got bar stools in the water all around, which I love. I love getting my drink and just being able to sit in the water, not stand, but sit in the water. Used to be open to everybody. The customers spoke and they wanted to be adult only. And Royal agreed. And it officially now is an adult only area, kid free.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, there's no reason for the kids to be able to swim at bar. It's like you said, it's up high, infinity pool. Kids are going to be kids and parents are not always paying attention. They could go right over that edge and it may not be very far to a landing. It could be.
I think it's pretty far.
Yeah. So there's just no reason. I think it's a great idea. And adults need somewhere quiet.
Kids
sometimes.
have their own areas, right? They have
Exactly.
like 4 play clubs they can go
Yeah,
to.
exactly.
Plus they have their own little, they have their splash
And
areas,
again,
their slides.
it's a swim up bar.
It is a swim up bar. And beyond the obvious, yes, the dangers of not paying attention to the kids. Kids are kids around water. They're not necessarily misbehaving, but what are they doing? They're splashing, they're jumping. We've all seen, if there's a hot tub, kids are in it. They just are. I don't know why they're in it either, because they're hot.
they want to do what
They
the
want to be
adults
adults,
do.
right? So
I think it's a
I
good
love
idea.
moving them out of there.
Yeah.
They got their own areas. I think this is a great place. Even Disney has an adult area.
Well, here's the thing. When you're with your kids, you go to the main pool, you do things as a family, but then you take your kids to kids club and then you go to the adult only. It makes sense.
It
It's a
does
good
make sense.
idea.
How do you feel about it, folks? Are you on board with this being an adults only area? Have you been in an area where there's been a lot of kids, and even though they weren't misbehaving, so to speak, they were being kids? Was it really interrupting what you wanted to get out of your vacation? Even Disney Cruise Lines has an adult only area, although kids can walk through there. We looked at some only areas in Cancun. Kids do walk through there, but I think it's great. Tell us what you think.
And if you want adult only completely, take Virgin.
Virgin Cruise Lines. And folks, right now, Virgin Cruise Lines has some great deals. If you haven't looked at it, we just posted. They've got some stuff right now. We're in full force of Labor Day. If you're watching this when it's current, $109 per person per night. Plus, I think it's Brilliant Lady starts sailing out of New York in November. So that's new. So that's fantastic. We have so got to get them on the list. They're my number one on we haven't done it yet list. So I want to do Virgin and they have got some really great deals. But let me talk about that real quick. We are in the middle of Labor Day and it is packed. Huge numbers. TSA expecting tons and tons of people. Everybody's packed. We were looking at, there's been some holiday deals and we're looking at some deals for people trying to get them some places to book. And they're looking for next year, for summer next year. And a lot of the boats are already 100% plus capacity. And how are they plus capacity? Because more and more people cruising 3 to 4 to a cabin so that they can, one, you can split it multiple ways, but two, it's just easier because, people say, oh, in cabins close, so we want connecting cabins. They're just not there. Sevens are already booking out. If you haven't booked your cruise yet, or even really your land vacation, because even those are popular, you need to get your booking in quickly. Get some insurance on it so that if something goes wrong, you can get your money back.
Right.
But if you're even thinking you might want to go somewhere, take advantage of either. We've got some land-based vacations you can get for no money down. There are definitely some deals right now, and probably there will be in the future with reduced deposits. I've seen it as low as $100 on NCL, $75 a person on Carnival. Just get your deposit down. If you decide in December, well, we'll look at it after Christmas when we've bought all the gifts, see what kind of money we got left. You'll be able to get on a cruise, but I guarantee you will not get the cabin you want. You may not get the itinerary you want because everybody is booking.
Yeah.
So take advantage of it. Get on it as quick as you can. And you know what? Let your travel advisor, who you already paid for, did you know that you already paid for it? Even if you book it on your own, the cost of us being your travel advisors already built into that, whether you book it on your own or we do it for you. The fee is the fee. There's no button that says, I booked it myself, give me that money back. They're not going to give it back to you. So let us do the planning for you. If you enjoy doing all the research yourself, drop us a message and let us talk about you joining our advisor team. There's lots of perks you can get as an advisor. We got our free trip to Cancun, and you can get some travel on your own and maybe help other people book those vacations they're not familiar with how to do. So let us know. That's our travel roundup, security shortcuts and airline deals for this week. Let us know which story spoke to you the most. Drop us a comment, send us a message. Be sure to click follow or subscribe, and let's keep your wanderlust alive. Until next time, don't just travel, book back and
Thanks for spending a little time with us today. If you enjoyed this and want more insider tips, real travel stories, and deals that make your bucket list closer than you think, be sure to scan the QR code, hit subscribe, or follow. Why? Because every week we bring you ideas that save you money, inspire your next adventure, and show you how to travel smarter without the stress. Don't just dream about travel. Make it happen with us. Follow now so you never miss your next chance to wander worthy.